Hello everybody, welcome to my review of the Rocketbook Fusion. I've had it for about 2 weeks now, and I thought I'd do a quick review of it. The first thing I wanted to say is that one of the big complaints I've heard is that this front cover will actually get scratched pretty easily, so I've been actually just using this sheet of one of those plastic things you put in your binder to slide papers into to protect. That actually slides right over the front of it. I'll order something better once this virus thing's over with and we can actually get supplies easier. It's about $40, 40 US dollars with shipping and tax and everything. There's a couple different versions of the book. I got the Fusion. They have smaller books. They have the original. This used to be a Kickstarter, and the original one actually is one that you clean by microwaving it. And the downside of that was you can only clean it like, I don't know, 10 or 15 times or something. But this is basically reusable forever. Eventually there might be some issues, but there's definitely been some people that have been using it over a year now. So the front cover, like I said, it can probably get scratched pretty easily. The bindings here may get messed up if you slide it in and out of the backpack a lot. I don't know, I've only had it a little while. So in the front of it, they have this page where you can actually put up to 7 different locations to automatically store your data. Whenever you scan it in, you take a picture basically, and this is just like a kind of an idea to let you know, okay, if I do this selection, where is it going to? Right now I'm doing Google Drive, Dropbox, Google Photos, and email. The way this works is at the bottom of every single page, it has these icons all along the bottom, and you just have to put an X on the ones that you want to automatically send to. So if I put an X on this first icon on the page, when I scan it, it will automatically scan it and send it to Google Drive. It's really convenient to just scan and send something, but the problem is that I like the capability to scan multiple pages at the same time. You can't do that if you use this. It's still a good thing to have just in case you need to use it on the fly, especially the first few pages. I'm not using these yet, but you might. The first one is kind of like a project tracker. You have a project column, a task, due date, an estimated time. There's notes at the bottom of it. I'm not using that. It has 2 pages that are like a weekly planner, where basically you have Monday, Tuesday, all the way to Sunday. There's 2 pages where you have that. Then you have a monthly planner, where you basically each month you would have to, it's not focusing, but at the top you have Sunday through Saturday, and you would basically put the day of the month. Then you have objectives, key results, action plans, reflections on this one, and then idea, rating, next step, and inspiration just for like planning or if you want to come up with a project. And then it has 18 of these pages. It's kind of hard to see, but there's dots all along the page, and I guess they're basically for graphing, or if you wanted to draw on it, you could do that. And then there's 18 pages that I actually used for my notes, and basically you have a section at the top and then lines to write on. And then I'll flip it upside down real quick so you can see what I was talking about earlier. Hopefully it'll focus on them. So here's those icons at the front. That first one would be my Google Drive, and then it's whatever you go in the app and set it up as. And then this QR code right here is basically what tells it that it's actually one of the documents that it's scanning. And then the other thing it picks up on is there's a black outline all the way around it. That way it knows when it's scanning, that it's actually part of the page. They recently added OCR. I say recently, probably 6 months ago or so. And what the OCR does, among a lot of things, is first of all, at the top of the page, you can put 2 pound symbols and then your title and then end with 2 pound symbols. It's not perfect, but it does actually a pretty good job of recognizing it. And when you scan it, it will actually name that picture whatever's between the 2 pound symbols on each side. So that's kind of nice. You just want to, before you go into class or whatever you use it for, you would put that title at the top of the page. And then you take your notes and you do, basically how often you use it, you will have to scan it in so you can clean it off. There's only 18 pages, which I fill those up pretty quickly. It depends on how many pages of notes you take, basically. But a couple things I want to talk about besides the front cover. It does require FriXion pens, which it does come with one of them. The one it comes with is one where you just take the cap off, which I'm guessing a lot of people are probably going to lose that cap. I don't know how big of a deal it is with these pens. And then at the other side of it, this isn't the clicker, it's actually an eraser. And as long as you erase pretty quickly, it works really well. So like, let's say this R, and then I want to make it this is. So as long as I act pretty quickly, it erases pretty good. Not perfectly. I think I've heard that if you use it too much, it can start to have indentations on the page, or it doesn't erase as well anymore. But pretty much all the FriXion pens come with this, the eraser of some kind. I actually recommend getting this eraser. It's a smaller one you can buy individually, and it can also erase pretty well, same thing. I actually like using that a lot better than the actual eraser on the back of the pen. It actually comes with a kit where you can get, I recommend getting the 3 or 4 clicker pens. So again, it also has a clicker on one side, or I'm sorry, the clickers are here. It has the eraser at the top, which again, it does a pretty decent job. And the awesome thing about this is it has different colors. And the colors, I saw this in another video, you can actually open this thing up, and then any of the FriXion inks, you can actually replace it. I'll put the links down below where you can order those. I'll have the links to this thing. It comes with this eraser. When you order the notebook, you get the notebook, you get the FriXion pen that I showed at first, and then the cloth, which is right here. So it also comes with this microfiber cloth. And to clean it off, you basically wet this microfiber cloth and it just wipes all the way across. And I usually use a paper towel to dry it off. I did want to show another thing I definitely recommend if you're going to use this, and that's one of these water pens. So the purpose of this pen, and again, this is going to be in the description down below, but you actually fill this thing, if you can see it, this is water, and it's actually made for paint, where you can basically put the water in, you squeeze it, and it makes the tip wet, and then you put that in your paint. But you can also use it once this is dried. You can't use that eraser as well, but this actually works really well, where you just wet the area that you're trying to clean off, and then you use this to wipe it off. Now this is still relatively fresh, so that wiped it all off, but the point being that you can get a small area wet with this, and then be kind of careful to clean it off. So that actually cleans it, in my opinion, way better than the eraser. The eraser is great for if you make a quick mistake, if you realize it right away and can wipe it off really quick. But if it's been more than 5 or 10 minutes, you probably want to use this pen. Pretty small. You just fill it up with water. So I filled it up a couple days ago and barely used any at all. So that's a pretty good device to use. And then I also bought another multicolor pen as well, so that I can have even more colors. So the other reason, not only multicolors, but also I like the grip better. This is a smaller grip, and I like having the bigger grip on it. So definitely like that. Again, I have all this in the description down below. You do want to plan on scanning about at least every day or two, probably. You don't want this sitting there for a long period of time. I actually had a dry erase notebook before, and it was the same kind of thing. I liked it. The advantage this has is it has the built-in QR code. The app is pretty good. The app is free. You don't even have to buy the notebook to use the app. In fact, they even have a template you can download and print a regular paper and use it to see if you even like the app before you actually buy the notebook. So if you're curious and don't want to spend any money, you could print out those templates and then use the app to see how well you like the app. So when it comes to scanning, it actually supports a bunch of different options. And this will probably change over time from what I can tell, they actually change it pretty often. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my app so that I can show you all the options. Hopefully this will come okay. Yeah. So as you can see, it has Google Drive, it has Evernote, Dropbox, OneNote, OneDrive, Trello, Slack, Box, Google Photos, and email. With the email, you can actually do multiple options with the email. You can send it to multiple people. You can, so if you're working on a project together, you're drawing something up, you can send it to, 2 or 3 different, maybe just 2 emails you can send it to. I'm actually using the Google Drive option. The reason why right now, each one of these actually has different options when you go to scan it. Let me see if it shows up here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to show. It's kind of it's hard to see, but basically there's 2 file types currently. You can do PDF or JPEG. With PDF, you can do bundle scans. It's not, for some reason, it's not becoming focused, but so bundle scans is what I was talking about before, where if you, let's say, take 7 pages in the class, you can scan them all at the same time and it'll send it as one file. You can also do OCR, which is what I do. You can have the OCR being one file or with the JPEGs, or have a different file that's attached. I do it together so that the transcript is basically below the picture. So that works out pretty well. I like it. Again, each one of these are different. The email does that. The Google Photo just does the picture. I haven't tested all these, so you'll have to test them out on your own to see how you like it and what works best for you. I definitely, like I said, I like the naming, how it does the naming at the top. They also have these things you can put on a white dry erase board where it will also scan it. I won't do the OCR on the whiteboards, but it will scan it in, which is pretty sweet. It won't do cursive OCR. You have to actually write in print, which so that's something to be considered. If you have neat handwriting, it can recognize it. I don't have the best handwriting, but it recognizes probably 80% of what I write, so that's pretty good. At the bottom, like I said, when you have these notes, if you put a mark down, it will scan it and send it, but you can't combine them together, so I don't use that function. If you're just taking a quick note, it would be really fast, though. You don't have to spend the time of choosing the destination. It just sees it and sends it. As I mentioned before, I'm pretty happy so far. I've only been using it a week or 2, maybe 3. And the cleaning process is pretty easy. One thing to watch out for is that ink does take around 15 seconds to dry. So like, you got to time doing the top page, the title. If you're doing those, you can't just go through and do them all at once, because if you move the page over too fast, then it'll smear it. So you have to write and then basically wait, 10 or 15 seconds, and then it'll be dry enough where you can move to the next page. I had another dry erase one that I reviewed previously that's pretty good. This just comes with an app, and the way the QR code, and has the OCR. I could probably do it. It's probably set up to use the black outline. If I probably put the black outline on the other one, it would work. But for $35, I think this is definitely worth the cost for what it does. And like I said, I would recommend, along with this, I would at the very least recommend getting the smaller eraser. That's not too expensive. And then this is a must too, the water pen. I forget what it's called, but I'll put the link down below. Let's see, the uploading app is pretty good. So if you do have one of these, I would like to hear from you if you like it or not, if you tried it out but you didn't like. If you have other recommendations for people on what applications you use to upload the Rocketbook, or let's say you watch this video, you buy it, and then you figure out what you do and don't like, please come back and put in the comments below so we can learn from each other. Please like and subscribe. That definitely makes sure that other people will see this video, and if they're looking for similar products, it'll help show up for them. If you have any questions on the Rocketbook or anything you'd like me to show in another video, please comment below and I'll definitely check those out. Again, the OCR is pretty nice. It's relatively recent, not perfect, pretty good, especially if you have neat handwriting. Some of the other people I looked at online really liked the product and really liked the OCR part, and it's way easier than carrying a whole bunch of notebooks. My problem is I take a lot of notes and it's just hard to go through them, whereas this goes to Google Drive and it's a whole lot easier to search for things. So I would definitely recommend. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.